Hey friends, it's Rosalind. Welcome back to our tiny farm and our gardens. January in my northern climate is often when I start dreaming of warm spring days and being surrounded by tulips and daffodils. So this year I have been trying to figure out ways to do cozy gardening in January and February while the garden is frozen. By doing cozy gardening, it's helped me embrace winter this year, and it got me excited to think about all the things I can do in these colder months that I simply don't take the time for in the warmer months when I'm too busy in the gardens. Make yourself something cozy to drink, and I hope you'll join me over the next 2 months as we discover all the different ways we can be doing cozy gardening. Some of my favorite things to do in January is make a hot cup of coffee or tea and page through gardening books to gather inspiration for my own gardens. And of course, order way too many seeds. When I sit at the table to plan my summer gardens, I do enjoy watching the birds eat the sunflower seeds we put out for them. In the warm months, they have plenty of seeds and bugs that they can eat from our gardens. We're expecting some snow, so I thought I'd make extra cozy food for them to help them stay warmer and give them extra nutrients. I'm attempting to make homemade suet for the first time, and I hope it'll turn out okay. Suet is a good food for birds. It's bursting with calories from fat, which gives them a quick source of energy that they need to stay warm in winter. Suet is not necessarily recommended to leave outdoors in warm weather, since the fat will be more susceptible to molding or melting. This is why it works better in colder weather like winter through early spring. I added all of the ingredients into a pot, and over a medium heat, I just slowly stirred everything together until it had all melted. Then it was time to pour everything into a pot. I used a 9 by 13 pan. You could use a larger pan since this suet turned out pretty thick. You can place it in a refrigerator until it's solid, but since the outside temperature was 20 degrees Fahrenheit, I just set everything outside since this is obviously colder than my refrigerator will make. I left it outside for about 2 hours. You might remember the orange slices that I had dehydrated before Christmas to use in drinks and in tea. I still have some left over, so I thought I would just string some up and place them outside for the birds to enjoy. I took some thread and a needle and made a string of dehydrated orange slices. After about 2 hours, the suet was nice and solid, so I decided to cut it into squares so it would fit into the suet baskets. I think I should have left the suet outside for about another hour. It was still a little crumbly, but it worked. And then it was time to take everything out and hang it into the bird feeders. Maxine, of course, thought she was being quite the help. I have 3 different feeders where I place sunflower seeds into for the birds, and so I just tried to hang one suet cake into each feeder. I hung the orange garland at the main bird feeder. I don't know how many birds actually do like orange slices. I know that orioles like orange slices, but they fly back south in the winter, so they currently aren't here. But we will see if the birds really like this. I had quite a bit of suet cakes left over, but we'll just keep them in the refrigerator until we need to restock the bird feeders. Maxine was busy eating all of the crumbs that fell to the ground. This is the view we have through our kitchen window of the bird feeders. And the next morning, we already had quite the surprise. The birds had discovered the suet cakes and they were busy eating from them. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, friends. I'll be sharing two books that I've just been paging through and drawing inspiration from as I'm planning the 2025 gardens. I want to expand the herb garden, and we also have two new gardens that we started designing last spring, and I'll be finishing the designs in them this year. My hope is always that these videos bring you joy and inspire you in your own garden space, and I hope you'll be joining me throughout January and February just for all kinds of cozy gardening. Have a wonderful week, friends, and I will see you right back here next Saturday. Bye.